I can confidently say I didn't want to eat most of these desserts, which I guess was the point. I was like, is that an actual face? Is that an actual dead face made out of human skin? Today we're talking about episode 1 of the new Halloween Baking Championship. If you haven't watched it yet, I'm about to ruin it for you. So head over to Food Network, check it out, and come back here. Don't say I didn't warn you. Can I just start with I had some concerns about this show. Tried watching this show a couple years ago, and I was honestly turned off with all the theatrics at the beginning that I didn't even make it past that. I just turned it off. Harsh, right? Sorry, Food Network. But the thing about me is I get attached to one specific thing. Like I'm a huge fan of the British baking show. So anything that's different than that, I just like automatically hate it. Do you get like that with stuff? So I was like, Stephanie, give it a chance. And still the intro was not my favorite with all the spooky stuff around the Halloween stuff and the skulls. But once I got past that, it was actually pretty good. I'm definitely going to give it a try. And I think part of it too is Halloween for me isn't like my favorite holiday. I don't hate it or anything, but I'm obsessed about Christmas. So Halloween's just kind of like meh. But here's the best shot of the entire show. The judges were in these crazy costumes, and this shot, I don't know, I watched it a few times because it was just cracking me up. Can we just talk about the absolute shocker at the end with the guy sacrificing himself? I mean, not actually sacrificing himself. It's not that crazy. But he volunteered to go home right when they were going to announce who was going to get kicked off. He jumped in with like a Hunger Games moment, volunteering himself. Never seen that before on a baking show, but more on that later. Something the show taught me, which I kind of already knew, but I really liked my baked goods and sweets to be like cute and brightly colored and make me want to eat them, right? The show was not like that. A lot of this stuff was like 100% not something I would want to put in my mouth. There was dismembered body parts, a pie that looked like a freaking human skin pie, fake blood oozing out of things. Not my jam. The show also reminded me that I'm 43 and I can still be a complete asshole sometimes when it comes to judging people. So in about 90 minutes, I got some drama, I got some gross looking things, I got some self-hatred. What's better than that to make a show memorable for you? Some of the characters are real extra, and the judges being, judgy. This show, there's actual money on the line, unlike the Great British Baking Show when the prize in that show is literally like a plate at the end. They can win money in the different challenges, and at the end, the overall winner gets 25K. So there's actually a lot more pressure in a show like this versus the baking show. The first round, which I'll get to in a second, everyone bakes, and then the last 3 bakers of that round have to do like the sudden death face-off thing, and whoever loses that gets sent home. For the first bake, they had to bake their worst nightmare, and oh my god, these bakers got dark quick. Someone said that she was scared that snakes would like crawl into the open parts around her eye and start eating her brain. Another was about literally killing people. Someone else was scared she would get buried alive. Like, are you guys okay? Am I okay? And all extra gross because they had to make their desserts ooze. I'm not a fan of things oozing. I'm a dental hygienist, so I'm dealing with saliva, spit all day long. And it's weird because if the saliva is in the mouth, I'm okay. If it's outside of the mouth, I don't like it. And any thick body fluid, no. Like that pimple popper show. I can confidently say I didn't want to eat most of these desserts, which I guess was the point. Big personalities on this show. Nita came out. Man, she is like confident, super confident. She thinks she's the best baker on the planet, direct quote, and she doesn't really see anyone as her competition. Am I the only one who, when you see someone like this, you secretly want them to fail and you kind of hope that they don't have the skills to back it up? She backed it up. She actually got second in this challenge. She did really good, and hers was a dessert that I actually wanted to eat. So good job. Good job. Here's why I am a terrible person. Mel was actually driving me crazy in the first part of the show. She was super stressed, really high key, nervous. Like she was making me nervous through the screen. She forgot the sugar in her cake, although 100% that would be something I would do. And when she realized that, she just laid down on the floor, just laid down in the middle of the kitchen. I was like, oh my God. Fun fact, she's also a trauma nurse. And I was like, I may or may not want her caring for me. Like, I might die. Her worst nightmare was a brain. And when she started explaining the story behind that to the judges, I was like, oh my God, Stephanie, you're an asshole. She has brain cancer, and her biggest fear is losing her brain. Like, God, Stephanie, stop judging people. And even with her sugary mishap, hers turned out pretty good. So I'm a jerk. Probably rule number one that I've learned from these baking shows is you do not put together warm things. Never, ever, ever. One baker did that. And of course, it was legit falling apart, like sliding all over the place. It was a mess. She actually tried to, like, it was literally falling apart. And she was trying to put some dowels in it as if it would save it. Like, try to put dowels into a pile of pudding. It's not going to do much. I thought she was done for. And then she just decided to make a trifle, just put it into a bowl. I probably wouldn't have thought of that. Also, with this show, I mentioned the pressure. One of the judges was literally staring at her as she was trying to figure this out. Like, I don't know about you, I do not work well under pressure like that. And I was cracking up when Carla was judging Justin's pie. She took a bite of it, chewed it, and she said, "Somehow I like it." And she did not seem happy about it. And it cracks me up when the judges can completely rip apart these bakers and the bakers just have to stand there and take it and say thank you. Probably the grossest cake I saw was the human face skin pie thing. I was like, is that an actual face? Is that an actual dead face made out of human skin? And we're supposed to want to eat it? I mean, aesthetically, he did what he was supposed to do. Oh, yeah. And it was oozing. It was like pretty gross. What did you think about all of the bakers watching each other as they're being judged? Like, is that how it is on all baking shows? Maybe I just don't know that. But this show made it super obvious when a baker would get a negative feedback, they're all like, ooh, ugh. They're in the background. Like, it just makes everything worse. I was kind of confused on the winner. Like, Alan's was good. He's the one that won, but it also seemed kind of simple. Like, looked to me like a regular cake with a heart on top. And Nina's was pretty good, but why not the French guys? Like, his looked good. And it actually looked like something I would want to eat. Although Carla didn't like the pat a choux, but Alan's was, I don't know, just kind of basic. But they really liked his flavor, so I don't know. Carla said that it gave her the pucker. How do we feel about the word pucker? I always think of like a sphincter. I don't know, but still love Carla. Looking back, his was simple. And the judge even admitted that, yeah, it was simple, but he did things perfectly. That's something else I've learned with these shows is if you opt for simple, you have to execute it perfectly. And he did. So, I mean, okay, looking back, maybe, yeah, he should have won. The bottom three bakers had to do that sudden death face off, and they're baking in front of the other bakers. Like the other bakers are watching them the whole time and providing commentary and asking them questions as they're baking. It kind of gives them an advantage too, because they can see how these bakers work. And I don't know, it might help them later on. I swear my IQ drops by at least 50% when I know someone's watching me, and especially if I'm under pressure. So I do not think I would thrive in this environment. Also, when Megan's sign thingy broke when she was trying to put it together, those bakers watching were harsh. They were kind of talking shit up there. Like that broke. She had to come up with something on the fly, which was a copy of what she did in the previous challenge, but like she had 2 seconds to figure it out. So they were hating on her for that. Someone was all, she's not a classically trained European chef. I was just like, oh my God, shut up. Ew. It was so surprising to me how much black ladyfingers look like dog shit, both going into the oven and coming out of the oven. Like when she was squeezing the dough onto the thing, I was just like, gross. And what was up with Corey asking Nina to like taste test his dessert to make sure it's okay? Like, is that allowed? I mean, I guess it is. But man, his cookie was so good. That icing was so smooth. I've decorated sugar cookies before. I mean, I'm 100% an amateur, and they 100% didn't look as smooth as that. And at the end, when the bakers were lined up and the judges were about to announce who was going to get kicked off, freaking Justin comes out of left field and asks if he can go home, or says that he wants to sacrifice himself so that he can go home. I was like, what the hell? Were you watching this whole challenge just knowing that you were going to like ask to go home? But I can kind of relate to what he was saying. He's an introvert. He said he's a back of the house guy. This whole under pressure cooking in front of people and all those cameras was not his jam, and he wasn't having fun. And isn't that what it's all about? Having fun? But I have never, ever seen that on a baking show. Who do you think was actually going to get the boot? I thought it was Megan, because the design really didn't turn out and the flavors weren't great. Plus, Corey and Oksana ended up doing really good, but she gets a second chance, so you never know. I think Megan thought she was going to leave too, because she was like legit ugly crying when Justin said that he was going to sacrifice himself. She knew. A lot on the line with the show and a lot of episodes coming up. I don't know how they're going to come up with all these crazy challenges that I'm sure they've got in store for us. And hopefully as the show goes on, I won't be quite as judgy. If you like this video and want to see more, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.